Aliens take over the Earth. They then announce that they will be forcing the humans to work a tyrannical 4 hours a day, 4 days a week in exchange for basic rights like housing. Needless to say, they are very confused when the humans celebrate their new alien overlords. I finished my speech, fully prepared for the usual spectacle of protests and outrage. I take no pleasure in those, but centuries of analysis and prosperity proved our way as superior and most efficient, however cruel it is. I certainly didn't expect this unusual noise the humans started producing. It took my communications specialist the long Earth minute to identify and then confirm the noise as cheering. Were these humans that distraught by our demands that they went into mass hysteria? No, the specialist confirmed. The reaction appeared to be genuine. However weird it was. In the following weeks, I have met with the representatives of the power elite, the world leaders, their richest and most powerful individuals. Contrary to my expectations, they didn't beg me to spare their workforce. Quite the opposite, in fact. The economy will collapse, one of them said, his tone identified as condescending. If you give everyone homes and health care, nobody will want to work. You are just giving everyone a handout. There was a lot of the same sentiment from their communication networks, the same demands to be given more work and more scarcity. Apparently, that is what their previous rulers considered motivation. The lower classes of the population, on the other hand, appeared almost disturbingly cheerful. Our empire has conquered vast galaxies and countless worlds. And everywhere we went, the lower classes wept with despair over the tyranny we imposed on them. But humans were different. They met us with praise, warmth, and worship. I would have enjoyed it if I were not so busy trying to figure out why. Eventually, we chose one of them to conduct an interview with. I asked her why they were enjoying our rule. Her answer was the most shocking. Why not? Your planet is currently under occupation by the foreign species, I said firmly, intending to leave no room for our translators to misinterpret. You spent 1/6 of your day working. The young woman looked at me like I was a child, or a jester. Then she realized I was serious. We used to work 1/3 of the day at the minimum, she said. I heard it, but I refused to believe it. That was not an efficient use of the daily cycle. 5 or 6 days a week depending on how anal the management would get with you. I checked whether our translators were working right. 8 hours a day at least? That would leave only 16 hours to maintain the healthy bodily functions. Half of that would go to hibernation alone. Even the good jobs don't really differ much. See, my brother used to work at one of those big hedge funds, really big money. But there was also the whole thing about showing your face around, so he spent almost half a day there. Half? Willingly? So, since we are talking here, may I ask a question? I nodded. Why all the perks? She sounded sincere. I mean, I am enjoying all the free time and not having to worry that an ambulance ride will bankrupt me, but I think a lot of us are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I looked at my increasingly frustrated translator. He clarified that she was talking about consequences, or as they said, catch. There is none. None at all? No eating our young or old. We have developed the sufficiently sustainable food systems. We implement those across all our occupied territories. Solving the world hunger too, huh? She smiled. Okay. So why the free housing and health care? There is 7 billion of us, after all. We are the efficient species. Providing you with those ensures the longevity of your service for the empire. And you are not going to, I don't know, harvest us for our organs or something, right? All due respect, but we have evolved far beyond what your bodies could provide us with. Good. Just checking. The young woman was soon let go. I stayed in my war room way past the allocated 4 hours of workday. We came here as the conquerors. I never thought we would be this species' saviors.